How hard is it for you to land clients for a high-ticket coaching program right now? Seriously, how many more people can show interest in your service, tell you it sounds amazing, and then say they need to think about it and disappear forever? The real challenge has always been attracting clients who truly understand your value, trust you, and are ready to invest thousands of dollars to work with you. And this is a problem for business owners in every industry, from fitness coaches to parenting experts. Everyone deals with it. Because the way you market yourself is no longer the main issue, whether it is content, paid ads, referrals, communities, webinars, sales calls, or networking. No matter how people find you, everyone eventually runs into the same problem. It is incredibly difficult to get someone who has never experienced what it is like to work with you to immediately spend thousands of dollars on a high-ticket coaching program. So in this training, I am going to show you a different way. It is a method some of the world's best marketers have quietly used for years, and it is an incredibly simple funnel that almost any expert can launch as early as tomorrow. And I mean that. More specifically, it is a funnel that can concentrate the revenue you would normally generate over an entire quarter, and sometimes even 6 months, into one focused 5-day campaign. And it does all of this without building a massive course, without filming dozens of hours of content, and most importantly, without chasing every lead and trying to convince them that you are the right choice. That part happens naturally. Here is the idea. We want to create a situation where a prospect goes from barely knowing you to becoming a fan of the way you think, connecting with your point of view, and experiencing small but meaningful results because of you, just days before deciding to pay you thousands of dollars for a deeper, longer-term program. In other words, the prospect enters a short experience where they apply your method, get a result, and realize on their own why they want and need to keep working with you. This funnel does 4 things at the same time. It builds your professional authority. It filters out the people who are not serious. It gets your audience to choose you instead of forcing you to chase them, and it moves the right people directly into your coaching program. And here is the surprising part. You do not need months to set it up. You definitely do not need a complicated production, and you do not need to be good with technology. You need one strong idea, and by the end of this video, you will know how to find it. From there, you create a few short videos and give your participants one simple assignment each day. In less than an hour, you can create the foundation of the funnel and start getting it ready to launch. And once it is live, within 3 to 5 days, you can already be having sales conversations with people who have experienced your value, chosen you, and are happy to pay you. By the end of this training, you will understand how the funnel works, why the people who complete it want to continue into your coaching program, how it fits into any marketing strategy you are already using, and how to find the right concept for your industry today. But before we begin, I want you to think about one question. If 10 or 20 people went through a short experience with you this week, got a result because of you, and finally understood what you can really do for them, how many of them would want to continue into your full program? Now, your audience does not need another explanation. Almost every expert we meet knows how to help people. They have knowledge, they have experience, and they have a method. And once a client starts working with them, that client usually understands very quickly why choosing them was the right decision. The problem is everything that happens before that point. How do you get someone who is still standing on the outside to understand what your clients only understand after they start working with you? And how do you let them feel your value before asking them to make a decision worth thousands of dollars? Most business owners try to close that gap with more marketing, more ads, more exhausting sales calls, more follow-up, and more content on social media. But your audience in 2026 does not necessarily need another explanation. They need personal proof. Not proof from another client, and not another screenshot of a testimonial. They need proof they can experience for themselves, and that is exactly what this funnel creates. So instead of selling the full program immediately, and instead of trying to sell your coaching program right away, you invite people into a short, focused experience that lasts a few days. Every day, they receive one short, incredibly simple video, something you can record selfie style in just a few minutes. At the end of each video, they receive one straightforward assignment they can complete that same day and use to see progress. Then, the next day, they receive the next step. That is it. This is not a content library with dozens of lessons, and it is not another course people promise themselves they will watch someday but never open again. It is one assignment per day that moves them toward one clear result. Let's say you are a business consultant. Instead of immediately trying to sell a full business coaching program, you could create a 5-day challenge that helps business owners build an offer people can understand and want to buy. Or, if you are a parenting coach, you could build a challenge that helps parents create a calmer bedtime routine within a few days. If you are a fitness coach, you could create a 5-day challenge that helps people build a simple workout routine they can actually follow. If you are a relationship coach, you could create a challenge that helps couples have one meaningful conversation without falling back into the same argument. And if you are a marketing expert, you could build a challenge where participants finish with a campaign, message, or offer they are ready to launch. The challenge should solve a small problem that feels significant to your audience. Once a participant experiences one real win, they understand 2 things that are incredibly important for you as a business owner. First, your method works like magic. And second, they want your help continuing because now they are hungry for the bigger, complete solution. And here is why this works so well. People do not only buy a solution, they buy confidence. They want to know that you understand them, that your approach is right for them, that they feel comfortable receiving guidance from you, and that if they invest in the longer program, they will not realize 2 weeks later that they made a mistake. With the traditional approach, they are asked to make that decision almost blindly. But inside the challenge, they do not have to imagine anything. They experience it. They hear how you explain things. They see how you think. They understand what you believe. They complete your assignments. And most importantly, they see that something is beginning to change. At that point, you are no longer just another professional they are considering. You become the person who helped them, and you become their go-to expert. Most business owners try to build authority through claims. They talk about how much experience they have, where they studied, how many clients they have worked with, and why their method is different. Those things matter, but no claim is as powerful as the moment someone does exactly what you told them to do, and it works. At that point, you do not have to tell them you are an expert because they tell themselves. That is a different kind of authority. Authority that is not based on how well you presented yourself. It is based on a real experience the client had with you. At the same time, the funnel filters your audience for you. There is another important advantage. Not everyone who shows interest in your business is right for your coaching program. Some people are just looking around, some are collecting information, and some love talking about change but are not actually ready to do anything. During a traditional sales call, it can be difficult to recognize this in advance. Anyone can say they are serious, but during a challenge, you see the truth. You see who watched the videos, who completed the assignments, who asked questions, who made progress, and who disappeared after the first day. Instead of wasting sales calls on people who are not ready, you reach the end of the challenge with a group of people who have already proven through their behavior that they want change. Those are the people you want to speak with. Now imagine a sales conversation with someone who has just completed your challenge. They have already spent several days watching you and completing your assignments. They have already received a result from you. They understand your point of view, and they know how you work. That is not the same sales conversation. Instead of you chasing them, they naturally move toward you. Instead of trying to convince them that you are the right fit, you are simply figuring out together whether the full program is right for them. And instead of starting from zero, you begin with a relationship that already exists. Now here is how this funnel can concentrate revenue into a short period. Let's use a simple example. Imagine that 15 people enter your challenge, not hundreds. You do not need a massive audience, just 15 people. For 5 days, they experience your approach, receive value, complete assignments, and begin seeing results. Now imagine that only 2 of them decide to continue into a coaching program that costs $5,000. That is $10,000 in revenue. 3 clients would be $15,000. And if your coaching program costs more, the number increases accordingly. Of course, this is only an example. Your actual results depend on your industry, audience, challenge, offer, and your ability to create meaningful change for the participants. But the point is not the exact forecast. The point is that during one short campaign, you bring a group of people together and let them experience your value at the same time. Then, you enter sales conversations with people who already understand why they want to continue. Instead of trying to close one client this week, another client 3 weeks from now, and maybe another client 2 months later, the funnel concentrates those opportunities into one short window. So what does it take to launch this? This is where most people assume it becomes complicated. You need to build a page, connect a payment processor, manage registrations, open a group, send the content every day, check who watched, chase the people who did not participate, collect feedback, make sure only registered participants can access the content, and somehow connect several different platforms together. That is exactly why we built CommuniPass. The platform manages the entire challenge in one place. It allows you to build a landing page with registration and payment processing ready to go in minutes. It manages your participants and their access, so only people who registered can view the content. It also sends each participant the content in a private message through the platform they prefer, including WhatsApp, email, and other channels. The participant does not have to remember to log into a course platform and search for today's lesson, because the content comes directly to them. On your side, you can see who watched, who is participating, who is progressing, and the engagement rate at every stage. The platform also collects feedback from your participants, helping you understand what worked, capture results, and improve the next round. Everything is in one place. But it is important to understand this. The platform is not the big idea. The platform is what keeps the big idea simple while creating a winning customer experience. Instead of spending your week managing spreadsheets, messages, payments, and content access, you focus on the one thing people will ultimately pay you for, which is your ability to help them. And all of this requires requires less than 1 hour of content. The challenge should not look like a digital course. In fact, if you turn it into a course, you will probably lose the entire advantage. Each video should be short, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes when necessary. Every video contains one idea and one assignment. Even if every video in a 5-day challenge is 10 minutes long, the entire challenge contains less than 1 hour of content. You do not need a studio, you do not need a camera crew, and you do not need a 100-slide presentation. You can open your phone camera, explain the idea clearly, and send the participant out to complete the assignment. The goal is not to impress them with production quality. The goal is to help them make progress in their actual life or business. Still, there is one thing you must get right. You need the right challenge concept, because not every challenge will create the same result. If you choose a topic that is too broad, people will not understand what they are going to get. If you choose a problem that does not feel important enough, they will not participate. If you give them too much content, they will feel overwhelmed. And if the challenge is not connected to your coaching program, there will be no natural reason to continue. The right challenge needs to answer 4 simple questions. What problem does your audience want to solve right now? What small but meaningful result can you help them achieve in a few days? What result will allow them to experience your professional ability? And how does that result naturally connect to the deeper program you sell? When those 4 pieces come together, the challenge stops being a fun activity and becomes a client-generating funnel. The good news is, you do not have to invent the concept yourself. This is where the practical part of the training begins. We built an AI tool that helps you find the right challenge concept for your industry. You enter a few simple details: what industry you are in, who you help, what coaching program you sell, and the larger result your clients want to achieve. The tool then gives you ready-to-use challenge concepts that fit your industry and offer, based on structures and ideas that have already been tested successfully in similar markets. Instead of staring at a blank page and asking, what kind of challenge could I create? You receive clear ideas you can begin evaluating today. You receive the name of the challenge, the problem it solves, the result it promises, the structure for each day, the assignments you can give, and the connection to your coaching program. And remember, the first person to create the experience has the advantage. You need to understand what is happening in the market. Every day, your potential clients are exposed to more professionals, more offers, more ads, and more experts promising to help them. And the person who gives them the first meaningful experience gains a massive advantage. Because once they have spent several days with another expert, connected with them, and received a result, it becomes much harder for anyone else to enter the picture. Not because that person is necessarily better than you, and not because they have more experience, but because they allowed the audience to experience what they can do while you were still trying to decide what to post or how to improve your sales call. This funnel does not require you to stop doing what is already working. It can connect to your paid advertising, your content, your community, your referrals, your email list, your partners, or any other method you already use to generate leads. Instead of sending those people directly into a sales call, you move them through an experience that completely changes the conversation. So think about what this could change in your business. Instead of going through another month wondering where your next client will come from, you have a clear campaign you can launch. Instead of explaining your value to every lead individually, an entire group experiences the difference. Instead of spreading your sales across several months, you create a short window where the right people reach the next stage together. And instead of chasing every person, you can see who is genuinely participating and who is ready to continue. And instead of building another digital product that people may or may not watch, you create a short journey designed around action and results. That is the entire concept. People enter, they experience you, they get a result, they choose you, and the right participants continue into your coaching program. And by the way, let me give you a little known trick. You do not even have to wait until you have a full group. You can give this experience to someone who showed interest in your service, but told you they need to think about it. Let them go through the experience. Let them get a result. And you can probably already imagine what they will choose to do next. So here is the next step. You now have 2 options. The first option is to close this video, say it was an interesting idea, and promise yourself you will come back to it later. Then, a week or a month from now, you will probably still be asking the same question. How do I get more people to choose me and pay for my high-ticket coaching program? The second option is to see what this funnel could look like in your industry right now, without committing to anything, without building the entire challenge, and without spending hours trying to come up with ideas. Click the button now and open the AI tool. Enter your industry, your audience, and the coaching program you sell. Within minutes, you will receive challenge concepts you can turn into your own funnel. The first idea might not be the one you choose, or you might see one concept and immediately ask yourself, how did I not think of this before? But the only way to find out is to enter your information and see what you could build. Because you do not necessarily need more leads. You need a way to take the people who are already finding you and let them experience exactly why they should choose you. Click the button, find your concept, and start building the funnel you could launch as early as tomorrow.